Good morning, family. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to an episode of the Legal Roundup. My name is Otoyin Kelechi Wunzi, aka Soti Baby, Soti Mama, Soti Special, Soti Sprinkle, Soti Spicy. So it's been a while since I've filmed an episode of the Legal Roundup because the legal space has been a bit boring. But something interesting, unfortunate but interesting, has happened and we need to talk about it to bring more awareness to the situation and find a legal solution. That's what we're here for. That's what we are here for, always to find a legal solution to our situations. Yeah, okay. So yes, if you're interested in this video, please keep on watching and give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, like this video and share with your friends. So today, guys, we're talking about the actress Empress Njamah and her recent ordeal. Okay, so let me give you a bit of a backstory. Empress is a Nigerian actress, as I said, Nollywood actress, Nollywood icon. She rose to fame back in the 90s, like maybe late 80s, 90s. I remember seeing her on my screen and being like, oh wow, I love this woman, because she was very different. She didn't bleach, she was a dark beauty, she had these big beautiful eyes that I loved so much and all of that stuff. But after a while we stopped seeing her on the screen and she just faded into like appearances, social media and all of that. So recently, I mean not too long ago, she made a post that we thought was her post, exclaiming that she's engaged, right, or showing her diamond ring, which didn't really look like a diamond in the first place. But anyway, she showed her diamond ring, and in the back of my mind I was excited, but I was also saying, oh wow, her best friend Ada Ame, who was also a Nigerian actress, passed away recently, would have been there to support. They would have gone all out and all of that stuff. So I was happy for her, excited for her, but a bit sad that her friends, her family, her friend would not be present for such a big milestone in her life. Unbeknownst to us, the post is allegedly fake. Okay, the post was forced. She didn't actually get engaged. She was forced to post that engagement video, engagement picture, and she came out with the story that allegedly her fiance has been abusing her, has been locking her up, has been emotionally manipulating her, has been stealing from her, has isolated her from a lot of her friends, has done so many things. I mean, if I find the clips, I'll put them here for you to listen, so you would actually hear from her own mouth what has gone on behind the scenes in this relationship.
Into my life and pretends of wanting to marry me. I didn't know that he had other motives. And he came when I was very vulnerable. When I lost my friend, Ada Ame. I've been speaking to this guy on the phone for months, speaking to people that I thought were his relatives. Everything was just scam. Came into my life, said he could not leave me because I was not okay. I really wasn't okay. I was hiding it from the press. The death of my friend broke me down so bad I could not function. And he said he was going to stay with me. I didn't know he was busy gathering his tools, his materials, which he was going to use to blackmail me. Afterwards, he had my naked videos. And he changed. He started hitting me. And when I wanted to talk and tell him this can't work, he killed me with my own videos and said I'm going nowhere. And that's when he turned into anytime, locks me up, put the keys in his pocket. In my own house, I didn't have access to leaving my room. This is a guy who lied to me that when he came to Nigeria, all his things were stolen. His phones, his credit cards, his clothes, and he got into trouble and he needed lawyers, which I gave a huge amount of money. I'm talking millions. He was out. He came to Abuja, started living with me. I became a shadow of myself.
So guys, as you can see, she has gone through a whole ordeal. She posted a series of videos explaining how everything went down, that for months when she was vulnerable, this man came into her life and then, you know, came under the pretense of somebody that is just returning from abroad, and he lost all his things. She paid money, she gave him money, did a lot of things. Men, women don't give men money, but that's by the way. She gave him a lot of things, she did a lot of things for him, okay? And it turns out that he was a scammer, as as the case may be. But more than a scammer, he is blackmailing her because he got a hold of her nude pictures, nude videos, all those things that people do when they're in relationships. You know, you freely take pictures, you freely take videos, and he got a hold of it to the point that he got a hold of her passwords for her social media account. So he has been the one running her social media account. He got the password for her banks and her ATM, and he has been withdrawing money allegedly. Please, this is all from her point of view, and he has like literally taken over her life, that even to the point where her parents, her family came and they're like, oh, this is unlike you, you've been quiet, what's going on? And immediately they left. According to her, he beat her up, he kept beating her up and threatening her. Anytime that she would think that she would speak up or tell somebody what was going on, he would threaten her with those lewd pictures, those lewd videos of posting it online and all of that. Plus the fact that he had monitored her life, he had mastered her life, and he had all the information readily. Like, he had everything in hand to ruin her, so she had no escape according to her. But eventually she found a way. She ran out of the house, sought refuge with one of her friends, I think, or sought refuge anyway. He tried to track her down, but he couldn't find her and all of that stuff. So that's the gist of the story. Actually, there's an update. Even the fact that he came out now, the guy is so bold enough that he came out to tell her and threaten her that he has detailed information of all her movements, knows where all her businesses are situated, he knows everything about her, so she cannot run, she cannot hide. And he even went as far as saying, you know what happens next, you know what happens next, you don't even. Guys, I was actually astounded by this guy's boldness. But the reason why he's bold is because in Nigeria, we do a lot of things and we take things too lightly. We take things for granted too much. Okay, this man should be arrested, he should be locked up, okay, because he has committed a series of offenses that deserve extended stay in prison. Okay, and I will bring the legal aspect to you. Okay, I've given you guys the gist now, the thing that's happened, the thing that broke the internet, because everybody's talking about it. I can't even imagine the terror and the torture that she faced. Imagine being locked in your own home. Imagine him going out and locking the doors and throwing away the keys and saying she can't go anywhere in her own home. It is crazy to imagine, but that is what she has experienced. So now, what are we saying? What are the legal implications? What are the crimes that he has even committed? Okay, when we go to the law, we'll talk about the procedure. What should she do, or what should anybody do in this kind of situation? The first thing you do is, after securing your escape, please, as much as possible, be alive. Social media does not care. Your new pictures, after a while, they will die down. I mean, Kim Kardashian, Tiwa Savage, so many people have had their pictures posted on the internet. Okay, so you can navigate around it. Your life is more important than the shame they're trying to hold against you. Okay, so the first thing you do is petition the police, the Nigerian police, and report and say this is what has happened. Okay, make a police report, petition the police, and they will now conduct an investigation. In the course of conducting an investigation, they will effect an arrest if they find that, you know, enough evidence and all of that stuff, effect an arrest and charge the perpetrator to court. Okay, now what I want to talk about is the laws that the police can charge perpetrator under these circumstances. Okay, so if you go to the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act, because I think this happened in Abuja, it seems like it happened in Abuja, but a lot of states have their own laws in relation to this actual law. So you go there, you see there are a series of offenses that I'm going to read out to you. There are the offense itself, the fine, or the terms of imprisonment. Okay, willfully placing a person in fear of physical injury. So he always kept threatening her. He's going to ruin her. He's going to do this. He even went as far as beating her, allegedly. So the fine is 200,000 naira, you know, not exceeding 200,000 naira, or 2 years imprisonment. Okay, there's an offense called offensive conduct. Okay, it says a person who compels another by force or threat to engage in any conduct or act, sexual or otherwise, to the detriment of the person's physical or psychological well-being, commits an offense and is liable for, on conviction, to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 2 years, or to a fine not exceeding 500,000, or both. Okay, so you can come under that, but I don't think this one is strong enough. But depending on what the police find, you can come under that provision. Okay. The police can also come under Section 10 of the VAP Act, which says that a person who deprives another of his or her liberty, except pursuant to a court order, commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 2 years, or to a fine of not exceeding 500,000, or both. Okay, so the fact that he was locking her in the house, he wasn't letting her come out, he was depriving her of her liberty, of doing things the way she would normally do, the police can use this provision, okay? And this is also to make you guys know that these are the laws. This is what the law says. So some of the things that we think are social media battles, I can't believe that the man is on social media. He's bold enough because he feels like he actually feels like he does not know, like nothing is going to happen to him. It's just bans. Oh, he just locked her up. But that's not what it is. He actually committed a series of grave offenses and he needs to be locked up, and there needs to be something done about it, okay? So we can talk about damage to property, because she also said, oh, he damaged her property, he broke her TV and all of that, allegedly. So damage to property: a person who causes mischief or destruction or damage to property of another person with intent to cause, or knowing that it is likely to cause distress or annoyance to the victim, commit an offense and is liable on conviction to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 2 years, or to a fine of 300,000 naira, or both. Okay, so understand that these offenses, they usually give you either a prison sentence or a fine, or both. It's dependent on the evidence that is pleaded and the discretion of the judge upon conviction, okay? All right. Okay, there's also section 14 of the same VAP Act. This act is actually transformative, especially for Nigerian women. You know, when, oh God, a lot of offenses that were not in the criminal code are now being captured here. Thank you, God, for the fact that legislators have, you know, moved forward and noticed that there are some sleek offenses that the laws, the extant laws before now did not encompass, and now the VAP law has actually, the VAP Act or the VAP law of your state has actually made mention of them. So emotional, verbal and psychological abuse, section 14, it says that a person who causes emotional, verbal and psychological abuse on another commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 1 year, or to a fine not exceeding 200,000, or both. So 1 year imprisonment maximum, 200,000 naira fine maximum, okay? So there are different offenses that they can come under. There's stalking, there's intimidation, there's battery. Okay, so let's talk about stalking for a little bit. A person who stalks another commits an offense and is liable on a conviction to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 2 years, or to a fine not exceeding 500,000. Okay, so the law, we need to actually know our laws. This is why this is the point of this channel. Actually, this series is to make everybody know that these are the rights that are available to you, and we can use them to our advantage. You can use them to arrest and convict. That is what I keep hammering. They need to be arrested and convicted, because it is not social media that's going to convict them. And the fact is that if you just let it go and say it's just social media, you just come, Instablog carries it, Gistlover carries it, all these other blogs carry it, and then that's the end of it. The person goes to another person and commits the same offense, and that person might not even have the social media clout to bring this situation out in the limelight. Okay, so let's talk about the blackmail and the revenge porn, okay, or the pornography or whatever. What does the law say about it? Does Nigeria actually have laws protecting women and victims in general of revenge porn, child pornography, having lewd content and trying to distribute it, okay? So the criminal code before now, the Criminal Code Act of 2004 had a provision talking about, kind of talking about porn, revenge porn, distribution of lewd, you know, videos and pictures and stuff like that, you know, in section 170. And it said any person who knowingly sends or attempts to send by post anything which encloses anything, whether living or inanimate, of such a nature as to likely to injure any other thing in the course of conveyance, or to injure any person, or B, encloses an indecent or obscene print, painting, photograph, lithograph, engraving, book, card or article, or which has on it or on its cover any indecent, obscene or grossly offensive words, mark or design, is guilty of a misdemeanor and is liable to imprisonment of 1 year. Okay, that was the original offense of that, but it was a bit vague. It doesn't encompass a lot of things, and it's only by post. Now we have the internet, we have a lot of things, and people are doing a lot of crazy things. So now there's a law, the Cybercrime Prohibition and Prevention Act, okay, section 23 of that cybercrime and section 24 of that Cybercrime Act, okay, because revenge porn is a cybercrime act, pornography, blackmail, all of those things are cybercrime acts. It says that Any person who knowingly or intentionally sends a message or any other matter by means of computer systems or networks that is grossly offensive, pornographic, or of an indecent, obscene, or menacing character, or causes any such message or matter to be sent, or he knows to be false, for the purpose of causing annoyance, inconvenience, danger, obstruction, insult, injury, criminal intimidation, enmity, hatred, ill will, or needless anxiety to another person, causes such a message to be sent, commits an offense under this act, and shall be liable on conviction to a fine of not more than 7 million naira, or imprisonment of a term of not more than 3 years, or both. Okay, so this is what the law says. Now we have understood that, in fact, there are other laws, because there's still battery, there's still, you can say kidnapping, you can say forceful endangerment. There are so many other laws. They do their job diligently. This man should be arrested, tried and prosecuted and convicted. They should secure a commission, because there's enough evidence, allegedly, assuming all the things that she replayed and explained happened. She was held under duress. She was forced to put a video claiming that she's engaged, and that apparently the man has been doing other things, to this same thing, to other women. She allegedly said that she found videos of her colleagues as well, and people that she knows, like on his phone, and she knows that they couldn't speak up because they were of fear of the same kind of repercussions. Okay, imagine your nude videos, your nude pictures being placed on the internet, the emotional abuse, the torture, the embarrassment, and all of that. So what am I saying here, guys? I'm so sorry that this has happened to Empress, if it really happened, because we have to be sure that things happen. But I believe her, the way I don't think anybody will come out and say such a story, but I mean, that's not the point. As a lawyer, I have to speak the law and talk about what the law says. So women, if you're in this kinds of situation, if you're in an abusive situation, please make sure you go and file a police report, make a petition to the police, and make sure you escape. The first and most important thing is to find an escape, find a shelter, find somewhere that you can go to. I will leave the hotlines of FIDA, domestic violence agencies, and all of that in the description box. And I assure and I implore you that please, your rights are available. The laws are protecting, at least they're advancing in a way that they're trying to protect women's rights. So we need to be aware of those rights, so we can come under those rights, because we are protected to an extent. Okay, I'm sorry this happened to Empress. I hope she's going through the appropriate channels to sort these issues out. If I find any information, I will come back here and update you guys. But I think with this point of mine, I've been able to convince you and not to confuse you that the law is your friend. The law is your friend. You just know how to use it and what the law actually says. Okay, there are so many ways. There are so many ways this woman can finish this guy. There are so many ways that he can be done, but he needs to be caught first. So the police even need to put out an APB, put out an announcement that there's this guy, because I mean, he was sitting it looked like a resort. He was sitting there doing a video saying, "You don't know me, you don't know this." And I'm just like, this guy is so bold, he's everywhere, and nobody's doing anything about it. So I hope she gets some succor from the law. I hope she gets some reprieve. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you found it informative and educative. If you want more videos like this from me, please let me know. You can also send me links to issues like this on Instagram. Soti_exo is always here or in the description box, so that I can actually research upon them and provide you with legal solutions. Mwah. Bye.